If you're a senior tech professional who wants to double your salary in your next job switch, this is for you. You're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table every time you accept a job offer. And it is not because you are bad at negotiating. It is because you are negotiating inside the wrong pay system. Here's the big problem. Most people think doubling your salary is about negotiating harder. It is not. It is about escaping the compensation regime you're currently trapped in. If you do not know me, my name is Brian Golod. I have been able to help over 1,000 senior tech professionals switch jobs with their desired conditions in as little as 30 days. Build a community of 215,000 plus followers on LinkedIn in just 3 years. And here's the shocking part. I never even finished university, yet I made over $300,000 a year working at the government of Canada twice and for multinational tech companies by using my proprietary interview method. Let me tell you about Daniel. Daniel was a data scientist who switched jobs after 6 months of frustration. He accepted an offer for $100,000. He was lucky to finally get something. But here's what he did not know. He should have been making at least $238,000, possibly more. How do I know this? Because 5 weeks later, we helped him land multiple offers. One for $238,000, another for $483,000, and everything in between. Daniel left at least $120,000 per year on the table. Over just a few years, that is hundreds of thousands of dollars gone. Money he will never get back. This happens because most people do not understand the rules of the game. Let me explain why this matters right now. In 2026, most employers are budgeting only 3 to 4% for salary increases. That means if you stay at your current company, you will never double your pay. Even if you switch jobs, the old playbook does not work anymore. The Great Resignation is over. The job switching premium that existed in 2021 has cooled dramatically. In some periods, people who stayed at their jobs actually got bigger raises than people who switched. That is the opposite of what everyone believes. Here are 3 facts you need to understand. Fact 1 is about anchoring. When an employer asks what you currently make, that number anchors the entire negotiation. Research shows that first offers strongly influence final outcomes. Even when the first number is completely arbitrary, humans treat it as real information. This is why employers try to get you to name a number early. It narrows the bargaining zone in their favor. And here's what makes me angry. Asking how much you currently make is unethical. This is why many states and provinces have banned this question. It is illegal in those places. They should pay you based on the value you bring, not what someone else paid you. Fact 2 is about pay bands. Most companies now use formal pay bands because of transparency laws. Once you are slotted into a level, negotiation only moves you a few $1,000s. The real money is in getting placed at a higher level before the offer is written. If you accept the wrong level, negotiation becomes a rounding error. Let me tell you about Khadija. She started a new job on a Monday. I sent her good vibes on Sunday, wishing her luck. 4 days later, on Thursday, someone reached out with another offer. She called me and said, "Brian, what should I do? It is a lot more money and better aligned with my career path." I told her to quit. She said, "What do you mean I quit? I just started 4 days ago." I said, "I know, but this is a win for everyone. It is a win for the employer because they do not want to invest in someone who is not fully committed. It is a win for the other candidate who did not get the job because they're probably still available. It is a win for the employer again because they do not have to pay recruitment fees. And most importantly, it is a win for you. If this is better aligned with your career path and you're making a lot more money, why not go with that one?" She quit elegantly without burning bridges. She's now happy with a lot more money. This happened because she understood she was slotted into the wrong level at the first job. Fact 3 is about multiple offers. Everyone tells you to get multiple offers for leverage. But research shows that having extra offers that are worse than your best option can backfire. Inferior alternatives make you more likely to settle. They anchor your perception of what is good. Only strong alternatives give you real power. Now, let me address something most career coaches get wrong. They tell you to discuss compensation early in the process so you do not waste your time. That is terrible advice. Let me tell you about John Benjamin. John was making $140,000 a year. He landed an interview for a role that paid between $100,000 and $140,000. The maximum end of the range was exactly what he was already making. He was not excited about it. I told him, John, we just started working together 2 weeks ago. You want to practice with an opportunity you're not that interested in. So when the right opportunity comes your way, you know these skills actually work. And he also said, you just never know. Unless you open the door, you never know what is on the other side. Long story short, he walked away with $275,000 plus $800,000 in stock options. You would typically think if they're offering a max of $140,000, maybe they would go to $150,000 or $160,000 if they are generous. But sometimes there is so much more. Because you were able to demonstrate your value. They do not want to lose you. This is why they are willing to pay you so much more. So do not discuss compensation early. Lead with value. Make them fall in love with you. And then wait it out. Here's what you need to understand about timing. Never discuss salary because you have a written offer. Not because it is rude, but because you have no leverage until they have decided you are the one. Once they write the offer, they have invested decision costs. They have committed to you publicly inside their organization. This is when you have power. Before that, you're just another candidate. The second thing is about your current compensation. Many states now ban salary history questions. Employers have to base offers on market pricing, not your past pay. But you still need to know how to talk about your total compensation. Do not lie, but do include everything you actually receive. Base salary, target bonus, equity grant value, benefits allowances, pension match, stipends. Most people only mention base salary. That is leaving money on the table before you even start. Use precise language. Say target bonus, not guaranteed bonus. Say grant date value for equity, not realized value. This is ethical and legal. It is also accurate. The third is understanding what you are actually negotiating. Most people think salary is the only number that matters. It is not. Benefits make up about 32% of total employer costs. Signing bonuses are still elevated compared to before the pandemic. Variable pay and equity can double your total compensation. Two offers with the same base salary can have completely different expected value. You need to look at the full package. Let me tell you about Kieran. Kieran received a job offer for $400,000. He knew how to negotiate. In 48 hours, he increased his compensation by $140,000 to $540,000. That happened because he did not answer the unethical question about what he currently made. He forced them to pay him based on his value. Here's the part most people miss. If you want to double your salary, you cannot negotiate your way there inside the same pay band. You have to change the pay market. That means switching industries, changing role families, or moving up in scope. It means capturing scarcity by solving a problem that is bottlenecking revenue or risk. It means converting cash into total compensation through equity, bonuses, and benefits. Classic negotiation tactics are second order compared to positioning yourself in a different compensation regime. Let me give you the framework. First, land as many interviews as you can in a very short period of time. I know it sounds like a fantasy in today's world where people are landing 1 or 2 interviews every month. But we can tell you stories about Daniel landing 48 interviews in 24 days, or Dylan landing 50 interviews in 3 weeks, or 25 interviews in a single week. These kinds of numbers are possible. You just need to know how to play the game the right way. Second, truly stand out from all other candidates so much that employers do not even remember who else they interviewed, and they do not even care to interview anybody else. Third, apply for roles one level higher than you think you qualify for. The level determines the band. The band determines your ceiling. Negotiation only moves you inside that ceiling. Fourth, never accept the first offer. Even if it is good, always ask for more. Not because you are greedy, but because employers expect it. They build room into the first offer. If you accept immediately, you signal you will have taken less. Fifth, focus on components beyond salary. Ask for a signing bonus to bridge the gap. Ask for equity if the base is capped. Ask for a higher bonus target. Ask for benefits that matter to you. Employers often have more flexibility on non-salary components. Now, let me address something important. Sometimes the highest offer is not the right offer. Daniel received an offer for $483,000, but he was looking for work-life freedom. He found out his future boss was working 65 to 70 hours per week. He understood that if his boss worked that much, he would have to work 55 to 60 hours per week. He did not want that. He also wanted to be fully remote 5 days a week, and he wanted to find fulfillment. This particular job that paid $483,000, which was 4 times what he was making, did not offer fulfillment. He asked me, "What do you think? Should I go for the $483,000 or the $238,000? I said, "What does your gut tell you?" He said, "I want the conditions I was looking for." I said, "Trust your gut, because you want to wake up happy and fulfilled every single day of the week." Also, sometimes employers can give you stock options and equity that sound great on paper, but they do not necessarily translate into actual money or a better standard of living. You end up quitting, and you lose all that stuff that supposedly was yours. It was never really yours. Here's my most controversial opinion about loyalty. Employers are not loyal to you. Why would you be loyal to them? They give you 1, 2, or 3% raises year over year. You have seen inflation. You're killing yourself delivering so much value. What do you mean loyalty? There's no such thing as loyalty anymore. We're not in the 1950s. This is 2026 and beyond. No loyalty. Be a great worker. You have 3 jobs to do. Year 1, adapt to the new job and the new role. Do a good job. Year 2, perform. Go crazy on the value you're able to deliver. Year 3, you better get promoted with a massive compensation increase and a title that represents your responsibilities and the value you offer. If you do not, get out of there. Here's what you need to remember. Doubling your salary is not about negotiating harder. It's about escaping the pay system you're currently in. It is about changing markets, changing levels, and changing how you frame your value. It is about timing, leverage, and understanding the full compensation picture. Most people leave money on the table because they negotiate inside a constrained band. You need to change the band. And here's what separates the people who double their salary from the ones who stay stuck at 3% raises forever. Strategy. It is not knowledge, skills, experience, expertise, or education. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with understanding the rules of the game. If you understand how to switch jobs from your ultimate position of power, meaning you have multiple interviews and multiple job offers in a short time frame, and you know how to negotiate, then you can receive the job conditions you deserve, and you can choose the right job for yourself. So here's my question for you. What is one component of your compensation you have never negotiated before? If you want to learn exactly how to position yourself for these higher level roles and stand out in the interview so they slot you at the top, watch the next video on this topic.